Do you have a Christian worldview? Most Christians believe they do for different reasons, but, Christianity is not whatever we want it to be. Biblical Christianity is based on fundamental truth claims, and the fundamentals are not negotiable. However, not all beliefs fall under the category of fundamentals. There are secondary doctrines and convictions. Christians can disagree over secondary doctrines and matters of conviction. But they cannot reject or revise the fundamentals and still be legitimate Christians. How many Americans agree with the fundamentals? George Barna released his annual survey called the American Worldview Inventory 2023. He surveyed over 2,000 adults to see how many agreed with 7 key beliefs, which he called cornerstones of a Christian worldview. What is a worldview? A worldview is like a filter that helps people understand and react to the world. Everyone has a worldview, and it influences every decision they make. A biblical worldview is based on biblical teachings. The fundamentals may be worded differently, but the basic themes remain the same. The focus is on Jesus Christ, human sinfulness and the need for redemption, and the provision of redemption made available through faith in Jesus Christ alone. Barna's 7 cornerstones of a Christian worldview capture the essence of these themes. First, believing in a traditional, biblical understanding of God. Second, recognizing that all humans are naturally sinful and our choices have moral consequences. Third, understanding that sin can only be forgiven through faith in Jesus Christ, and forgiveness requires personal confession and reliance on His grace. Fourth, believing the entire Bible is true, reliable, and the best moral guide for all situations. Fifth, accepting that absolute moral truth exists, is defined by God, and is described in the Bible. Sixth, knowing that the ultimate purpose of life is to know, love, and serve God with all one's heart, mind, and strength. And finally, defining success on earth as consistently obeying God in thoughts, words, and actions. Survey findings. Barna divided the survey participants into 3 groups based on how many of the 7 cornerstones they agreed with. Integrated disciples agreed with all 7 cornerstones. These would be the ones who reported having a fully Christian worldview. Only 6% of the surveyed group fit this category. Some 13% of those who identified as born again, because they at some point confessed their sins and placed their faith in Jesus Christ, were found to have a Christian worldview. Emergent followers agreed with some but not all of the cornerstones. World citizens agreed with the fewest cornerstones. This group comprised 82% of the sample, an increase from 69% in 2020. What does this mean? Most people who call themselves Christians do not share a fully Christian worldview, even if they think they do. Barna noted that 68% of Americans consider themselves Christians, and only 6% have a biblical worldview. What many have without knowing is a syncretic worldview that mixes Christianity with other streams of thought, perhaps humanism, spiritualism, or postmodernism. The situation should be a matter of concern for Christian leaders, pastors, and educators. We have work to do in the Christian community. Jesus described Himself as the way, truth, and life. He said of truth that when embraced and practiced, it sets us free. Therefore, as followers of Christ, if truth was important to Jesus, it must be to us. When it comes to Barna's 7 cornerstones of the Christian faith, how Christian is your worldview?